Welcome back to the show. So safety is a top priority, especially for women while we're out and about. And if you've ever been interested in learning more self-defense tips, then you've come to the right place.
Absolutely. I recently spoke with Caroline Degon as she shared why she uses her story both to empower but also remind women why it's important to practice the moves that she teaches. Joining us today is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu two-time world medalist and educator Caroline Degon, who's here to share her tips for protecting ourselves wherever we go. I'm excited about this one.
Thank you for having me.
So what inspired you to start this space of helping women empower themselves to be defended properly?
It came from actually an unfortunate event, but actually an empowering event in my life that I was a victim. I was attacked coming out of college. It was by someone I knew. I was alone at night sleeping. I was attacked. I knew nothing about how to defend myself. I feared my life at that point, and I only knew to stay calm and stay collected to try to survive the moment. And then after that, I realized, I spent my whole life academically interested in evolving myself, but nothing about protecting myself. So I sought out a martial art. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu found me, and I've been training dedicated to it since then, 15 years ago.
And I love that you turned what should have been a horrible thing, and it was a horrible thing, but into a beautiful moment of you empowering others. So thank you for doing that. Yeah. But a big component of defending yourself is really getting your mind right too. Like you mentioned, you knew to stay calm, which was like the first most important thing. But how do you think people should mentally prepare themselves, God forbid, if they are in a situation like that?
Mental preparation comes from doing the work, with confidence training, and that's self-defense. So self-defense training not only prepares you physically for self-protection, but mentally self-protection as well. In order to strengthen our minds and bodies, you have to do the work physically, and it's through that self-defense training that you can become calm, collected, aware, and be prepared. One of the tips I have for people for self-defense is, walk with situational awareness. You should always know your environment. You should know your surroundings. When you're walking, you should know what's in front of you, behind you, and on the side of you. Walk like you know where you're going and know what you're doing, even if you don't. Take note of any unusual behavior and take action if needed of an unusual behavior in those situations.
No, that's a really good. We think about when you're driving a car, you're always aware of what you're doing, but when we're walking, sometimes that's often forgotten. So that's a really good, practical first tip. But you brought in a Yuki today.
I did.
So you're going to show us.
I brought in my husband, who has been a proud supporter of me and there for me. So I like showing it with males just to see how it works. Yeah. When you train with a male, which I always recommend after training my female groups, go home and practice with a larger partner. Yeah. Find who you can, make sure that you see how it works, because it's empowering to see it. Right. And then you have to practice it. You don't just take a class once and think that you're ready for self-defense.
Exactly.
It's a muscle, so you have to practice it daily, and then it becomes automatic.
Well, as a smaller, shorter woman, I'm definitely looking forward to this. So I'm going to let you go change, and we'll head right back here.
Sure.
All right, Caroline, your hair is up, so you're going to show us the moves.
All right, so this first one comes from being dragged by the arm, a one-arm attack. So this is a common attack that you might find out on the street, or if you're being unwantedly pulled. So what people do that aren't trained, they want to go away from it. And why is that wrong? Is because I'm now fighting force. So someone that's bigger than me, they're going to win this battle. So I need to use the technique. So first I'm going to get in a base. I'm lowering my center of gravity. My hips are low. Widen my legs. This hand is going to come in. I'm going to go in between his arms, keeping low in my base because I'm more powerful. Going underneath my closed fist. Now I'm going to bring my fist towards my chest and elbow out, hands up, and I can back away safely. All right, the next one is getting from behind. If someone were to choke from behind or do a one-arm hold. Yeah. So I have someone trying to pull me or take me from behind. What I want to do first is solve one problem at a time. What I don't want to start aggressively hitting the person. I want to deal with what is my problem, which is the choke. So first, to avoid getting choked out, the hands, all fingers are in a hand grip. I'm going inside and I'm gripping the inside of his elbow, and now my elbow tucks to my body. And right away, if you see, it's getting me space, so I'm not getting choked out.
You can breathe more.
Yep. The next hand goes in, fingers closed too, cupping his wrist, and again, go down with my elbow. I get lower in my base, just like we did before. This hand is gonna cup underneath his elbow at the same time that I'm pushing
So
up
now
with
you
his...
can stick your head out.
Exactly, yeah. So here, I'm buying myself space. I'm not being choked out. And again, he's gonna be fighting to get the choke back, so I'm keeping my elbows locked. At the same time I'm cupping under the elbow, I'm gonna step my foot outside and go underneath, push him away, and then I could back away safely.
And now I see what you mean. Like, it's easy to watch that and say, all right, the tip makes sense, but the practice is really how you make sure you're more confident. God forbid you are in a situation that you can get out of.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you for being a kind helper in this. Where can we find you before we go? Online?
www.ccfitandwellness. Also, it's my Instagram, ccfitandwellness. There's also the warriorwomantribe.com. That's how you could find me for my services.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kwani.
I got a certificate for that class, by the way.
Good for you.
Thank you.
That's really important.
Yeah.
And I will certainly, I like her advice of actually practicing so that you're prepared.
Exactly.
I love that. All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us today. We'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your day.
Lots of good stuff.